Live from a wellness center near you, it's the Healthy Habits Wellness Update!
Welcome back to the Healthy Habits Wellness Update. I'm your host Angie with my co-host Steven. Today we will be discussing nutrition labels and how to read them.
That's right, Angie. Reading nutrition labels is one of the most important skills you can master when managing your weight.
That's right, Steven. Let's pull up a nutrition label now and discuss the different components. Okay, well, like Steven said, reading a nutrition label and learning what it means is really important to maintaining a healthy weight. Let's start at the beginning of this nutrition label. You'll notice at the very top of your nutrition labels is serving size and servings per container. The number one mistake is to not check this portion of the container because people just assume that things are packaged for individual serving sizes. I have an example for you. Here we have a typical sports drink. So one would buy a drink and think, well, I get to drink the whole thing in one sitting, okay? And in this drink, that's not really the case. So if I look on here, serving size is 8 fluid ounces. And there are 4 servings in this one container. So you have to drink a quarter of it, put it away in the refrigerator, and drink more later. Or if you do drink it all in one sitting, then you need to take the rest of the nutrition facts as far as calories, fat, cholesterol, sodium, carbohydrates, protein, and multiply them by how many servings are in this container. In this case, this beverage is 50 calories per serving, and there are 4 servings in the container, so one bottle, 200 calories. Let's move farther down the nutrition label. The next lines that we're going to discuss are calories and calories from fat. These 2 lines are very helpful in determining what percentage of your food is from fat. Let's take, for example, peanut butter. Typical size serving of peanut butter is only 2 tablespoons. That is also 190 calories. Of the 190 calories, 120 of them are mostly from fat. So that just tells you right there, that's a high-fat food. So you want to pay attention to these 2 numbers and see what percentage of your food is from fat. Now we're going to discuss a little bit more on fat. The next line on your nutrition label is fat, total fat content, and this is going to appear in grams. It's also probably going to be broken up into groups. So I have a graph here to explain to us what the different groups of fat are and how they're categorized. Let's start at the top. You can have saturated fats. Saturated fats are found in animal products like red meat, dairy products, tropical oils, and hydrogenated oils. These fats tend to raise your blood cholesterol levels and can lead to heart disease. Then we have polyunsaturated fats. They can be found in vegetable oils such as safflower, corn, sunflower, soy, and cottonseed. They help to lower bad cholesterol, but they can also lower your good cholesterol. They're also susceptible to oxidation, and they can be good or bad for you depending on the source of omegas, whether it be from omega-6 or omega-3. Then we have monounsaturated fats. These are found in olive, canola, nut oils, and avocados. These are considered a good fat. They help to lower bad cholesterol, and they're more resistant to oxidation. Okay, we also have trans fats. They're found in stick margarine, shortening, and the processed foods that are made from those products. They tend to raise your blood cholesterol levels and lower good cholesterol. They also can increase your risk for cardiovascular disease. Okay, let's discuss your omega sources. First, we have omega-6s. They're found in corn and wheat. They promote inflammation, and our body requires very little omega-6s, and that need is usually met through our plant sources. Omega-3s are the good ones. They're found in fish and some plant sources, and they tend to reduce inflammation. Remember, a good tip with fat is always in moderation and only used to flavor your foods, which doesn't take a whole lot. Back to the nutrition label. The next thing we will discuss is total carbohydrates. We're all watching our carbohydrates and trying to stay low, but the important thing to remember is that also includes your fiber content per day. So a good thing to remember is that for every 100 calories of your starch or carbohydrate, if you have 5 grams of fiber, that's a really good source. The next thing that is under your carbohydrates that you can watch for is your sugar. Remember that those also can be a natural source, so we'll talk more about sugar. It's really important to check the ingredients list to see what source the sugar comes from. Let's talk more about sugar. What is sugar? Sugars are carbohydrates and they exist naturally in all different forms and in all kinds of foods. Let's go through the different types of sugars. First, we have sucrose. It is produced by extracting the sugar from sugar beets and sugar cane, present in lots of foods and in granulated sugar. Then we have fructose. It's the sugar that is found in fruit. Then lactose, a naturally occurring sugar found in milk. Okay, did you know that an average American consumes 53 teaspoons of sugar a day? That's equal to a 5-pound bag of sugar every 10 days. Whew. The goal for your sugar, you should not exceed 25 to 30 grams of sugar per day while trying to lose your weight. Now that we know the different types of sugars, it's important to know where to look for the ingredients so that you can look for sugar terms. Next, we're going to show you sugar terms. Is that okay? On your nutrition label under ingredients, sugar can be listed in several different terms, so it's important to know what to look for. We're going to go through a list here. Starting, we have brown sugar, cane sugar, beet sugar, corn syrup solids, brown rice syrup, dextrose, fructose, fruit juice concentrate, high fructose corn syrup, honey, invert sugar, maltodextrin, molasses, raw sugar, turbinado sugar, sucrose, organic sugar, maple syrup, corn oil, cornmeal, cornstarch, and xanthan gum. That's quite a list. What I would do if you're just starting out reading nutrition labels is maybe make yourself a little to-go card with those terms on it, stick it in your purse or your wallet so you know what to look for on the ingredients list. I always tell my clients if sugar is within the first 5 ingredients on the ingredient list, then there's too much sugar in the product. Those ingredient lists are put in order of how much of that one ingredient is in the product, so put it back. Okay, let's discuss how sugar is broken down in your body. Sugar enters the body, it's broken down into its simplest form for use. The sugar is moved into the bloodstream for transport. When there is excess sugar in the bloodstream, that's only 1 to 2 teaspoons. The body will use insulin to move the sugar out of the blood and into your cells, so that it can be used for energy. The excess sugar that cannot be used as energy stores as fat. So, pretty good goal here is to stick with the carbohydrate and sugar limit that your coach has set for you. If you do that, you won't have to worry about storing fat. A good goal again is 25 to 30 grams of sugar per day. Make sure to divide that equally between all 5 meals. Okay. Back to our nutrition label. One more thing to discuss is the percentage of daily value. An important thing to note here is that that is regulated on a 2,000 calorie diet, so it's not always a good idea to go off of the percentages of daily value, because how many of you are really eating 2,000 calories a day? I know from my maintenance plan, it doesn't include a 2,000 calorie diet. So just pay attention to the grams and serving size, and you'll do much better. Geez, Stephen, where have you been?
I don't know. It was really dark.
Oh. Well, I'm glad you're back, because I need your help. We need to discuss why people should avoid sugar.
Okay.
So, okay, to start out with, sugar is your primary dietary cause for the obesity epidemic.
Sugar is your fast track to diabetes.
Sugar causes inflammation.
Sugar can lead to heart disease.
Sugar is an anti-nutrient.
Sugar converts to fat 2 to 5 times more in the bloodstream than starch.
That's a big one. Sugar can increase your risk for developing Alzheimer's.
Sugar feeds cancer cells.
That's plenty of reasons to watch our sugar intake. Remember what your goal is, and for more information or questions, please call your personal wellness coach.
Well, that certainly was a lot of information about nutrition labels to soak in. Thank goodness we all have a personal wellness coach.
That's right. Your personal wellness coach should be in contact with you before the end of the week. We'd like to thank you for joining us, and make sure to catch next week's class. We'll be discussing digestive health, and you'll get even more information on fiber. This is Angie.
And this is Steven
For Healthy Habits, signing out.